Alright, hello everyone and welcome to the second episode of Side Notes. I am your creator, writer, director, producer, editor, star, Gerald Bobby Brown. Alright, so I'm here with my stars of the show, well, one of my stars of the show and some co-stars and an extra.
Don't pull it.
So
at least I'm a co-star.
Right. Well, I'm about to say something I'm gonna give away. I can't say it.
I was being written out.
Hey, that's your personal issues that have nothing to do with me. Anyway, so I've been trying to decide on how I'm going to do the next discussion video. So what I decided to do is do smaller groups, 4 to 5 people, and just discussing different topics. So this is the first part of our discussion. One of the things we were talking about earlier was Hero. So I'll let Mr. LaMichael discuss Hero, because before I get into that, because I'm sure we're going to discuss this within the next couple of minutes, but somebody sitting at this table next to Chad and next to Herbert, they put on Facebook that if you're not for Hero and all that stuff like that, then you're wrong, because if you're a part of this community, then you should be supporting our people and blah, 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 blah. Oh, you don't remember?
I did not put all of that.
Well, what did you put?
What I said was, there is, somehow, some way, like the Hero Ordinance guy is getting all the attention, I think, for the wrong reasons. So, because there are a number of classes that are protected. It's not just an LGBT thing. It's not just a transgender thing. So I put a list of the classes that are now protected as a result of the Hero Ordinance on my Facebook page, and I said that if you belong to one of these classes and you are against the Hero Ordinance, you should slap yourself. That's what I
Really?
That's all I said. I didn't say
Okay.
anything else about like people being wrong and all that. I just said you should slap yourself.
But that's basically saying that if you're not supporting it, then you're wrong. Now, my thing is, I don't support it per se, but I'm not against it, and I'm not against anybody else that supports it.
I didn't say that you're wrong. I said you should slap yourself, because it is something that is, you are included, and you're basically saying that it means more to me to see one group without benefits or without protection, so much so that I'm willing to forfeit my own. Who does that?
But, okay, explain to me Hero, the whole Hero thing.
Oh my gosh.
Like I said, I don't, it's not that
No, I'm just not all that prepared. Okay, like...
You supposed to be an advocate. You tell
I am an advocate. I am an advocate. However...
Teach us.
However, it's just basically like, and I'm trying to remember all the classes that it takes, but of course, like if you are a woman who's pregnant or may become pregnant, that was one of the classes that I mentioned. If you are a city employee or a city contractor, I mentioned them as well.
You mentioned veterans also, right?
Veterans. There's quite a few. But for me, it's like, okay, if your reason for not wanting or being against it is because you don't want to see another class with them, like, mind you, that have absolutely nothing to do with you. Like, I'm saying just in general. Like, if you are a pregnant woman and you don't particularly care for homosexuality, like, I get it, that's fine, that's your belief to carry. However, the fact that you don't agree with it, I don't feel like should keep same-gender couples from being a protected class for housing. That is a basic human necessity. Like, it's something that is needed. So, like, is your hate stronger than your humanity? Like, is it more important for you? And beyond that, you're pregnant, you're saying, okay, it's perfectly fine if I'm discriminated against because I'm pregnant and I don't get hired or can't maintain employment. I just don't want you to be able to get an apartment with your partner in Houston.
Is that a point?
Well, y'all looking at me like I said. I didn't say. I'm not saying that I am against Hero. I'm just not this advocate person. I'm not that type of person that I want to go out there. I'm going to fight for this right and this right. Me personally,
thinking I'm a radical. Like people gonna be like, oh, there goes that gay radical, which is fine. No, that's fine.
No,
I'm for people. Period.
And I'm for people also. But what I feel is that I'm not trying to put anybody down for their ignorance. Mm-hmm. If they want to be ignorant, they're going to be ignorant. Me as a black, gay veteran, I'm fighting for myself. No matter who out there dislikes me or is against me, for me, or whatever, I don't care. Because I'm still going to live my life for me every single day that I get up. I'm the only person that I need to worry about. Yes, I'll support anybody that needs help and all of that, but I'm not about to fight for anybody else. Because at the end of the day, the same people y'all want to have this hero organization for, y'all fighting for this pregnant woman, y'all fighting for this ignorant mother effer over here, but those are the same people that are putting y'all down. So if they want to be ignorant, I'm going to let them be ignorant on their own.
But the thing is, we're more alike than we are different. Like you said, you are a veteran, you know, that includes you. You are protected under this class. And you're my friend. It does. So if I, and not only that, but there are plenty of LGBT service people who deserve that beyond their sexuality. Like the fact that they help protect this country and our freedoms and our liberties, they should most certainly have that kind of protection. You know, the same thing for pregnant women. Like there are lesbian women in this community that may become pregnant, and they deserve that. Where does that come from? Oh, look, it is 2014.
Oh my God, I'm for those people. I'm for them.
It is 2014. Okay, so yes, there are lesbian women who may be pregnant.
She a lesbian. She had kids.
They deserve that.
Fuck her. Anise?
Girl. Anise, call me, girl. We have things to talk about.
He could be your.
Be what? He be what?
What kind of baby?
The mayor?
No, I don't. That's
what does hero stand for?
The human. Do I have to be the one?
Somebody. I just asked the question. Chadrick?
No, I was waiting for him to say it. I wasn't going to say it.
Well, you don't know it?
Yeah, human equality, rights.
Ordinance. Yeah.
Equal rights ordinance, yeah.
I'm not, look, let me say this too though. I am not an expert. Okay, like
none of us are.
You are the expert at this table right now.
I don't want people thinking that I am like the end all and be all.
I mean, but yeah, bald people are smart. It's been tested.
Go what? You tried. So are people with glasses.
No, that's not true. They're just blind. They're just blind.
Wait, you said not me.
What?
What happened?
See, blind and deaf.
See, we're being messy.
And he's gray.
But like I like that's wisdom right there.
No.
But like I said, I think that it's all good for those people that want to fight for those type of things. But I'm just not that type of person.
Right, and I feel totally fine.
Some people speak out more than others. And
he speaks.
Well, kind of shifted that way. So
hold on. When did you come back? You in this episode?
Dun, dun, dun.
Why don't y'all be?
Okay, let me ask you this.
You invited me back, so
okay. Let me ask you this. How do y'all feel about gay marriage? And Houston is getting ready. Did Houston they pass?
Are they?
It's not passed.
It's in the works,
but it's been deemed unconstitutional.
Okay, so how do y'all feel about that?
I personally don't like the title marriage as in reference to homosexuality.
Why is that? Ooh, that's juicy.
I don't.
You have to expound on that.
I don't.
Why?
I think marriage is man and woman.
Oh, wow. Why is that?
I mean, I don't go against, you know, being unified in life with the partner that you intend on being with for the rest of your life. But as far as wedding, marriage, I don't like the terminology.
Why?
I just told you why.
But I'm still not. Okay, but based on what?
That's what I.
Based on what?
That's what I've been taught to believe, and that's what I believe.
Oh, see,
the Baptist Church. You Baptist?
Yeah.
You've been socialized. You've been conditioned.
Well, for me, gay
institutionalized, if you will.
I don't like the term gay marriage. Marriage is marriage.
Marriage is marriage.
Whether it's man,
I agree
woman,
with
woman,
that. I
man,
just don't
woman,
like the
woman,
term.
whatever the case may be.
I cannot like the term.
When we first talked about gay marriage, my first thought is, what the fuck y'all talking about? These hoes don't even keep monogamy
Oh
as
my
it is
God,
now.
they proposing left and right.
And
hold on.
And that, just as high as the
Who is
rate
they? Because I don't know.
It's all on Facebook.
All I can do-
Everybody got these little proposals.
All I can do is-
But you do know straight people do the same thing, right?
Okay, that is my thing.
And then the first thing I thought about is they're gonna have so many divorces.
Okay.
That's all right.
I'm like, wait a minute.
But I'm
who's
talking-
gonna be paying
hold
for
on.
these divorces?
But then I have to realize, you know what? Gay and straight is no different. Thing is, heterosexuals are just more put in life from what the gay life is. Gays, they get more of a reputation. I'm for the marriage. I believe in it. I always have been since doing what I was doing. But anyway,
Cohen?
To me,
that's that one down now. I just have
we
hoes
are
tendencies.
not going to expound on anyone's personal thing. But if you're looking for a good time,
No, I was about to say that somebody was gonna get cut out of this video, so there's gonna be some editing. But now it's gonna have. I'm gonna be the only person. I'm gonna be the only person in this video. That's all I know. But, okay,
Just
okay.
nasty. And
This is how I feel about marriage. This is how I feel. I don't agree with marriage. I think that a person should have to wait till they 38 and older to get married. To get
Everyone?
married. Yes, everyone. One, I think.
38?
Yes.
Why?
Okay, look at how many people coming from the military. I've seen so many people get married because they got pregnant. Somebody wanted more money for their BAH. Somebody wanted housing allowance, so they got married just because. So right there, the sanctity of marriage and all that is tainted right there.
Well,
so for straight people not to want gay people to get married because it's going to ruin the whole little religious and all that aspect of marriage, it was already ruined before that. So that's why I don't agree with marriage. Secondly, I don't agree with gay marriage because I think I'll say 8 out of 10 people that gay couples that got married, they only got married because they wanted to stick it to the man. They wanted to say, okay, well, you said I couldn't get married, so let me go run off and get married. It's not about being in love. It's not about wanting to spend their life with somebody. It's about proving a point. If you only want to get married to prove a point, then you're doing it for the wrong reason. And you're fucking proving the straight people's point. Because you're not doing it for the right reasons. Just like the straight people aren't doing it for the right reasons. So if I believe in being in love and making that commitment to the person that you want to be with. If that's why you want to get married, then I'm all for it. But 9 times out of 10, these people aren't doing it for those reasons.
Oh, I agree.
That's how I feel.
I understand that part.
to me, I feel like if we're gonna do that, then it could go along the lines of it. There are some people that only voted because they wanted to stick it to the man or because it had become a big thing. There are some people that only do things because it is relevant for the time in which they live. Like we're gonna be connected no matter what. At this point, we're history graded. We're all connected by these historical events. Like we're all here to partake in it at this time and place. But what I will say is that I am for gay marriage. I'm for marriage, period. It does not have anything to do with my relationship status. It does not have anything to do with my personal stuff. However, when it comes down to there's no rings there.
Just making sure.
Yeah, okay.
Is it gonna get your one?
First lady.
Y'all are getting off topic.
Speaking of, is
coming
your
down.
real boyfriend jealous of your on-screen boyfriend?
I doubt
I
it.
doubt it. Doubt it seriously.
Y'all
Now,
are so nasty. And
now, when it comes down to like the definition of like, I'm sorry, but marriage has so many different definitions depending on who you ask. There are people who are not Christian that still get married. There are atheists that get married. There are people who are not American, people who are not British, English. There are people in tribes in third world countries that get married. They are not Christian, but they get married. So to me, Christianity, and I am a believer, but Christianity does not hold the final say on what marriage is. For me, it is a civil thing. It is something where if my partner and I are both paying taxes, we deserve to be able to. We deserve to be. We deserve
Just
to
because?
be. What do you mean just because?
I'm just saying. What do you?
It's like, what does that have to do with anything? It's like, if you're in love, then I understand that. But I don't give a damn if you pay taxes or not. You don't pay taxes to get married.
But at the end of the day, the government does. And so if that be the case, the government does not have the right to tell me
So
that I
that's the
cannot.
standpoint that you're looking
And
at.
if we're going to separate church from state, which is something that they did a long time ago,
They trash.
no political or governmental agency should hold the right to dictate the decisions that go on within my personal life.
I completely agree.
If I'm not hurting anyone, if I'm only trying to build things and do things with my partner and have the same rights and the same liberties as my straight counterparts, I don't feel like, well, I should not be able to do that. Now, there is certain things that come with living. There are certain things. I'm sorry, but saying that the divorce rate is going to be high. I don't care. You should be in love. That is universal. But it does not stop people from getting married. And so I don't feel like it should be valid for keeping gay people from getting married. No, whether people are in love or not, whether people are getting married for the right reasons or not, they are not stopped from doing so.
That's why I said people should not be allowed to get married until they're
That's not
38
going
years
to
old.
happen.
And that's the thing. That's what I feel that it should happen.
So since that's not an option right now,
instead of
I
gay
feel
people,
like
instead of gay
everybody
people
should
not
have
being allowed
that
to get married.
right.
Instead of,
Exactly. And I don't believe that people should have to be 38 to get married. Let's just be real. The divorce rate is high. People who are over 38 get divorced all the time.
Okay, that's the thing. How many times you see people that be in their 50s that have been married for 20, 30 years and want to get a divorce because they wasn't ready to get married at 20-something years old. They should have waited till they was 38.
But why 38? What is
that's the maturity age.
My grandparents were barely
just because they don't
legal.
want to be alone.
Well, that's
It don't
good
matter.
because they're
It
going
don't
to be
matter.
dead soon.
It don't matter.
Wait.
It don't matter.
38.
38 don't mean
See,
nothing.
y'all have gotten all into y'all own personal.
But no. Besides the 38 thing, I think that yes, gay people should be allowed to get married.
Yes.
But I don't think it should be separated, straight and gay or whatever. I just believe that as an individual, if gay people want to prove something, get married because you want to love this person for the rest of your life.
And I absolutely believe that for the most part, there are people, the majority of gays getting married are getting married because they love each other. You have to realize this has not been, has not been legal at all. And so what you do have on the flip side is gay couples that have been together 20, 30, 15, 10, 5 years who have not been able to get married, and so when the opportunity presented itself, now they have the opportunity
So them was the ones that was all in lines outside courthouses?
Exactly.
I can respect that. But when I see these little 19, 18, 20-something years old on Facebook,
at a house party,
and you know what?
all of a sudden,
And you know what? It's the same things that straight people deal with when they see young girls and boys who just graduated high school and they want to get married because they can't. It's going to happen, period. There's no way to stop that. But I don't feel like the whole community should suffer as a you know.
I think that people need to go back and look at marriage as a whole and look at, you know, our great grandparents and other grandparents that had that relationship. Yeah, they probably cheated and all of that good stuff and all that, you know. So
I'm like, but at the end of the day, like, it's really great to romanticize about it all being wrapped up in love, and that's what it's going to be all the time. But sometimes it is going to come down to finances. Sometimes it's going to come down to, baby. Now
I don't need to marry you for you to pick me up from school.
Right.
I don't need that.
You're so messy. The only thing is, baby, let me tell you something. You
have something to say?
Not during the filming. Not during the filming.
You don't have nothing to say. He's sorry.
But sorry.
My grandmother told me,
what's your grandmother told you?
there is no romance without finance. Hello?
There is
Because
no
when you
romance.
got a good man, they're gonna pay the bills.
There is no romance without finance. You need, on the flip side, you need to be, and that doesn't mean that the person has to have money or whatever, but the fact of the matter is, there are expenses that come along with being
If you ain't got a
together.
call, you find a man that got a call.
Not even that, because at the end of the day, too, she said make sure you got enough money to sustain yourself.
All right.
Don't depend on anybody else.
That is a whole nother
Yes.
topic there.
But
that is a whole nother topic.
But the whole thing is they go hand in hand. Like you're not.
You need
going
to have
be
your
able
own stuff, and he needs to have his own.
However, when it comes down to marriage, it is a lifestyle change, and there are plenty of same-sex couples who are living that lifestyle, but they're reaping none of the benefits or none of they are not recognized, and so.
And that's not fair.
And that's just not fair.
stuff.
It's not
how?
to me. It's not personal. Like it's not a religious thing. Like it is a civil matter.
Like for example, if someone in a same-sex marriage is on their deathbed and they want their
Exactly. They want to be
partner.
able to make decisions in regards to their health care and all of that. Those are things that need to be.
But can't you
taken into
name
account.
anybody as your
But things happen.
beneficiary
Things
and other
happen
things?
suddenly.
That's beneficiary.
Things
But what
get-
about other things?
What is
Of
that
course,
called?
Your actual medical.
What is that called?
You
Your
can
actual
do
health
do
care.
that.
What is
but
that
of course,
called?
your actual health care, they have no control over because they're not family or anything because they're not recognized. They
But you
can't do
can't-
shit. You've been with them for 25, 50 years and you can't do not a damn thing about it.
because you're not.
You can't make
you're not
no
legally
decision.
married.
Well, when I get married at 38,
Oh my God.
then
Well, once you be 38 and like a year or so.
And I didn't have this discussion.
Ooh.
I refuse to have to go to a different state to get married.
So I mean, times are ticking.
oh really, really,
feel like that should happen.
okay, I got you.
I agree with that.
I got you.
I can agree with that.
Somebody's not gonna be in
Because
no more. I'm spoiling it for y'all. Somebody gonna be in no more episodes.
Whatever.
So,
I'm
Go
getting
to a
this
different
thing.
state
I'm
to get
getting
married
this.
and come back to a state that's not. I'm still not getting any of the benefits.
But federally, you are. Federally, you are.
I want the whole package.
Oh, you getting married for the wrong reason.
And it's getting married. No, he's
No.
not getting married for the wrong reasons. But
Move your ass
I wanna
somewhere
feel like
that,
I'm
that,
equal,
that
like it's
does
supposed to be.
have, you know.
I mean, at the same
Amen.
time, it's one of those things.
Okay.
it's that's why.
I mean, this is
it
Texas.
does help to be.
Okay, so I have a question.
in with the fight.
Herbert,
Yes, sir.
would you marry a man?
Yes.
Absolutely.
I wouldn't want it to be called a wedding.
What would you want it to be
The
called?
fuck would it be called?
Would you look? They're going to give you a marriage license.
I understand what I understand what they call it. I don't.
Oh, you want it to
mine.
be called a commitment
You want a
ceremony?
civil union?
What's the
Civil
Spanish
union?
birthday party thing called?
Quinceañera?
Yeah, quinceañera.
But you ain't 15.
Oh, that shit. Well, call it what you want to call it.
I think like a life unification ceremony.
Okay, well, you have your life unification.
And if you go your ass down to the courthouse, you're getting a marriage certificate. If you go to a place where it's legal, you're getting a marriage certificate. They're not gonna give you.
They can look. I get what they say. I can pay for whatever they want, but
Well, I guess in some places you might have.
So there's no people in
But
your head, no matter what the paperwork says, in your head, it's your, what is it? Unification.
my life unification
Your life-
ceremony.
we gonna
For
split it
example, on the invitation,
It's gonna-
you are invited. You are cordially
But you have
invited.
to ask yourself too why you feel that way and maybe reevaluate.
Why would you marry? Why would you want to do this with somebody, but you don't even want to call it what it really is?
Right.
I just don't like the terminology. I don't
Why?
care.
Why?
Well, I'm sorry to hear that.
Because it's what because of how you've been taught as to
Yes.
what you might want to revisit that.
What?
You
And maybe
what he need to do?
think about
instead
why-
of going to this Baptist church.
Why am I starting
No.
to feel like this is some
we are
type
not
of
going to attack the
intervention?
Baptists.
No,
This is an-
well, instead of going to the Baptist church, maybe he needs to attend an Orthodox. When can he attend an Orthodox?
We have one every Saturday of the month.
every Saturday or one Saturday out.
We have one Saturday of the month. I'm
What
sorry.
Saturday?
Every month.
What
we have
Saturday?
one Saturday.
What Saturday?
It varies depending. But it is on Facebook. You can look up Unorthodox, or you can find me on Facebook, or you can look up Seiji or on Facebook.
You have to say your name.
I will
after
put
you
I will
say
put the
something on
links
Facebook.
under that so you
Yes,
can find
you'll
it.
have
I will put the links.
They know y'all know my name.
Y'all know Derek. But anyway, moving on. Another topic I want to ask: dating somebody that is HIV positive. Have y'all experienced that? If so, how was that experience for y'all?
Who wants to speak first? Is it me
I can
again?
speak first. My first experience first. That's a shame, huh?
I mean, if you're okay with it. I mean,
My first experience, he started off by saying,
I have a house in Vegas.
no, shut up, what?
I have a house in Vegas.
Oh no, I've never heard
I have never heard that.
But he started off, he was like, what's one thing that you wouldn't be able to accept in a relationship? At the time I was 18, so I was like, I don't know, I've never been in a relationship. I was just being with somebody, and so like they went on for like a couple of weeks, and then finally he decided to tell me that he was HIV positive. My first reaction was to cry. It was more so I was.
Did y'all have sex?
Yes, we did.
Okay.
We had sex before, and but it was more so I cared so much about him that I was like, why would God do this to him? Mm-hmm. And so, but at the same time, it's like we still dated for a while and all that. It didn't last, and as time went on, like I dated another person, and it got to the point where it was like, oh, okay.
The norm,
you know, and it's like, should it be the norm, or is I want people that are HIV positive to feel that they should be honest with people, be upfront and all that. But we're getting to the point now where it's like, it's the norm to expect that they probably do, regardless if they tell you or not. So that's the society that we live in instead of more of protecting yourself and all of that.
right? I think I met like the first person that I knew was HIV positive. I think I met when I was like 13. It was my mother did a lot of work with people who are HIV positive. So I guess by the time it got to a point where I had like came to an understanding about my sexuality and all of that stuff and what it all meant, you know, I was a little, no, not at 13.
Okay.
I said by the time I got to the point when I had, you know, realized and all that, I think my idea of what HIV looked like and, you know, what it all meant was a little bit different than people who maybe had not experienced, like, because like all the basic stuff, like, you know, I've been eating after people with HIV for years. Like, there's people that are still like funny about that, but I learned those lessons like really young. And so then when I started working in HIV prevention, the multitude of information, like, and I advise everybody, whether you're straight, gay, man, woman, whatever, like I advise you to educate yourself.
M Society, you can go get tested.
You can go to M Society, St. Hope, a multitude of organizations, and there is a number of people, black, white, man, woman, gay, straight, that can give you a ton of information. But that was when I learned like everything a lot more when it came down to like sex. So, and I really, I don't date much. Like I had not dated that much. So when it came down to like a short period when I was like single, my question when somebody would tell me like they're HIV positive was, what's your viral load and are you in care? Because what I learned was if you're in treatment, the risk of you passing it on to someone is greatly reduced. And I also learned that the lower your viral load, also the lower your chance of passing it on to someone else. So that would always be like but I never like saw myself like not dating someone just because they had HIV. I think it was just one of those things like product of this generation. Like it's something that you're forced to confront early on. Like I really do think it should be a part of like the birds and the bees. I think they need to talk about it in schools. I think it should be one of those things because it is real. It is real. And you don't have to be any one thing to get it.
I think a lot of females, especially in the black community, they think that a lot of people think it's a gay disease. Mm-hmm. And that's something I think that it's just pure ignorance, just lack of being educated. So sadly enough, a lot of people don't do it. So one of the reasons why doing this show and doing videos like this, I want people that are out there that may not have ever thought about having a conversation about HIV or just don't know anything about it. That's why I want to be able to reach people who never thought about it before. So it's like seeing Jonathan possibly being HIV positive. We had a short intermission there, but like I was saying, I want people that never took the time to actually think about it and realize that we should all protect ourselves, and if we protect ourselves, it'll go from being that norm to just being protected. You won't have to worry about it as much.
And it is. It's something that is life changing. But I really feel like you're wasting a lot of your time by going around and just being scared of it without educating yourself. Like that is the key to. I mean, there's so many things. PrEP, PEP. Many things that you can do.
Can you explain the
pre-exposure prophylaxis, post-exposure prophylaxis? Like, there are things that are out there to help. Now I'm gonna ask you to Google it because I'm not gonna go all the way into it like that. But if there are, or like inbox me or whatever. But there are some things that you can definitely empower yourself with if you have the right information. I used to test people, like come in and test people for HIV, and I can tell you right now, there was everything from men, women, straight, gay, straight that identified as, well, people who identified as straight but still had sex with other people who were married but were doing things on the side, people who are, and it's not a moral judgment, but the fact of the matter is it's the life in which we live in, period. It's just, that's the world. It's one of those things. So, exactly, it's the life we live.
Who created that show?
Right. So, it is one of those things that, like, of course it's important for you to have open communication with your partner, whoever you're having sex with, protect yourself and all of that other stuff, but know what you're up against. Educate yourself. Education is key. It will save you a lot of heartache and a lot of stress. Go get tested. Don't be afraid of it. It is what it is. Not getting tested will not make you negative. It will just make you undiagnosed.
You're going to be negative. You're going to be negative in this world. Like,
right. It will just make you undiagnosed.
-1.
I think Herbert, Chad, do y'all want to add anything? Herbert, no?
I'll say I was one of those people that was scared. But it took for me to have a scare for me to get educated on things. So I definitely understand what Michael was saying on that. So, I don't really have too much to say except for get tested, be aware of everything that can be, because honestly, learning more, I'm not scared anymore. I've actually dated someone that has been that, knowing their status. I've dated someone not knowing their status and finding out at a later time. But the biggest thing is it's going to be the education portion of it. And that's what helped me.
Chad.
Yeah.
Talking to the boo. I think for me personally, it was
what?
For me personally, it was one of those things where not necessarily ashamed, but concerned about what people will think, what people will say. Like I'm a very private, closed off type person. So for me, sitting in front of a stranger, asking me how many people I done slept with, how many unprotected people have I slept with, have I done drugs, and have I done this, it's like I felt like I didn't want to share my business. Not because I was doing a lot of stuff that I shouldn't have been doing, but I was doing stuff that I didn't want everybody to know I was doing.
Which is probably what
It's
you
the
should
same
not have been
thing.
doing.
It's the same thing,
Yeah,
but it's all about how you say it.
Right.
It's all about how you say it.
Right.
That little loophole.
But and the thing you have to understand too is that they're asking you those questions for a specific reason. Like, it's not gonna make me any more excited to know that, like, you like to swallow nut or something like that.
That's gonna be blooped out.
Correct.
He's not talking about me.
Supposed to say semen.
If they're a child, they won't know what it is one way or another.
It is what it is. So if you're watching, you're going to hear a lot.
But yes.
Okay, well, the thing is, I'm sorry for the people who are a little bit more,
Christian.
PG.
It ain't even, baby. Look, I'm Christian. Hello.
Goodbye.
He's unorthodox.
I'm everything. Some days I'm Hindi. Some days I'm Muslim. Some days I'm.
So when you're Muslim, you don't eat pork that day?
don't
No, I
McDonald's.
don't.
No sausage.
That day,
I don't eat
No
pork
sausage.
that day. I don't. Anyway.
he don't eat it. He just swallow it.
Anyway.
Some of this stuff gonna get edited out.
But, okay.
Was that a rewind?
So, yes, it was. So, back to like, okay, you said you don't like to discuss personal things or whatever, but everybody's asking you those questions for a very specific reason. Like, they need to know what kind of activities and how you're having sex so they can help you modify in a realistic way
I feel like I'm being preached at.
so that you can also have sex that is safer for you. So, like, if you do a particular thing, they can say, okay, well, okay, cool, I understand that.
Here are the risks.
Here are the risks. Here are some ways that you can do it that will reduce your risk.
Well, what I'm saying is, I get that